Hi everyone, I am a Ukrainian speaker and today, as the title says, I'm going to challenge myself and try to decode 7 Slavic languages because Ukrainian is a Slavic language. This will hopefully help me understand what those texts say. Hopefully there are going to be some words similar to my native language. I have no idea what they're talking about. Gudure, oh my god. Just think a little bit. Jacuzzi, that's not what I thought. And to make it more difficult, of course, and impartial, I asked my friend to prepare the text in those languages for me so that I have no idea what the texts are about. I'm going to see them for the first time right now together with you. So this video is possible thanks to my friend Florian. He is a full-stack developer and works with web technologies and AI. So if you're looking for someone reliable and knowledgeable to build your project, I can definitely recommend you reaching out to him. Also, please comment "Thanks Florian," it will make him smile. Okay, I have now opened the folder. Before I unzip the file and start the challenge, the first rule is no Google, ChatGPT, just linguist brain. And by the way, I have no experience in these languages: Belarusian, Czech, Slovak, Bulgarian, Serbian, Rousin, and Polish, yes. I would say I have never been to any of the countries where they speak this language, but it will not be correct because I have been to Belarus, although not many people speak Belarusian, so I would say that I don't really have experience with it. Why I included Serbian and I did not include Croatian? The reason is that I did start learning Croatian, learned some basics, and I quit. Okay, hopefully I will not fail completely. I don't know, have no idea. It's a surprise for me too. So let's see. Okay. Whoa. Alright, which one will I start with? I think I need to pick something simple, and I think Belarusian might be the simplest option. I kind of feel like it has to be similar to Russian, but also to Ukrainian. Hopefully, this will help me. Okay, let's open it. Ooh, wow. Can you see it? Let's just move it a bit here. I'm nervous. First, I will try to read it. I'm so sorry if I do it so poorly. I don't know. Dudar ішов по дорозі і іграв на своїй дурці такі мелодії, що навіть кам'яні, здавалося, слухали. Okay, first impression would be that it's a fairy tale. I feel like it because Dudar, I didn't understand it first. Just after I read at least this half of the sentence, and I realized that Dudar is, or might be, a person who is playing on dudka. Dudka is an instrument. What is it called in Ukrainian? Dudar. I don't know. I don't really see this word anywhere in my everyday life, but maybe that's exactly the same word in Ukrainian. Ishov sounds a lot like in Ukrainian Ishov, like he went. По дорозі, it's probably he was going on a road and he played. Играл, that's interesting. What is so interesting also is that they use this E like we have in Ukrainian and they don't have in Russian, but they also use yo, which Russian has and Ukrainian don't have. Another challenge that came up with all those languages is false friends of a translator. It means that you think that this thing means what it means in your language, but in reality it's a false friend. It's not really, it's absolutely has nothing to do with it. Like I was pretty sure dudar means person who is playing this flute, I guess, but now I remembered about false friends and I'm not so sure anymore. What can help me in this entire challenge is cognates. These are words that really originate from the same Slavic word, and my hope lies on cognates. Okay, let's read a bit further. He was playing, he was going he went and he played on the flute such melodies, I would say, такие melody, що навіть камені, здавалося, слухали. Okay. Only after reading it for the second time, I think I understood what it means. Навіть means probably навіть. Навіть is even. Even камені is stones. Even stones listened. Здавалося means that was easy for me. If it's not a false friend, здавалося means to seem. It seemed like even stones were listening. That is so nice. That's such a nice text. Сребром кали про кохання, серці людей танчили от жалю і радості. I think I understood the last thing. Серця людей танчили. Maybe, I don't know this one. Hearts of people танчили, maybe. I don't know. From sorrow and happiness. What can hearts of people make? Like we're full of. Not sure we have anything like that in Ukrainian. Кохання, of course, it's clear. Кохання is кохання, love. Сребром maybe is срібло, like silver. Переливалося. I understand what it means. Not sure. You know, like silver can have like different shades. I suppose the water was like silver. Wow, that's such a beautiful text. Його музика была не просто гуками, а живыми словами, які говорили про тое, що нельга розтлумачить звичайними словами. You know, the more I read, the more I get it. Wow. Also, I think it's much easier when you see the text than if I, let's say, heard the text. І кожен, хто чує гетую музику, гетую probably means this. In Ukrainian it would be цю музику, which is so different. Maybe I'm wrong, maybe it means something else. Відчуваєш та розуміє мову душі, мову серця. Oh, what a nice language, if I'm reading it correctly. Okay, each language I'm going to rate myself from 1 to 10 on how well I think I got it, and you can also rate me, and you're welcome to write it in comments so I get some feedback from you on how I did. Okay, I think I did pretty well. I feel like I did maybe like 8 out of 10. I could summarize actually what I read and even retell the story, maybe even using Belarusian language, so I would say 8 out of 10 for Belarusian. Next on my list, well, Bulgarian is definitely, it will not be easy. How do I know? You know, on packages, when you read instructions or ingredients, from time to time I see Bulgarian and I don't even try to read it because it's not possible, and they have so many false friends, so it's going to be fun, but I will leave it for later. I see that we do have Russian here. Maybe he just included it just in case. Yeah, that's oh my god, that's from Master and Margarita. Oh my god, Master and Margarita is just a masterpiece. I'm a big fan of Mikhailo Bulgakov. He used to live in Ukraine, in Kiev, extremely talented. But let's go to something like Rousin. So Rousin is a language. Some of people consider it to be a dialect, a Ukrainian dialect, but I would not say it's a dialect because I, as Ukrainian, I never heard about it when I was growing up. I heard about Carpathian dialect, that part of Ukraine which is close to Poland. They speak Ukrainian, which is difficult to understand, but we never called it Rousin. I don't know if it's the same thing. So it's an East Slavic language spoken by a small community in Central and Eastern Europe. I actually saw some texts on Wikipedia written in Rousin, so I do think it's a separate language, but let's see how difficult it is. Yes? Okay. Oh, that's actually super easy. У високих горах жив мудрий старець, що знав мову звірят і розумів, що говорять дерева. Люди приходили к ньому з різних сел, щоби попросити ради та або помочі. It's very easy to read. It's easier than Belarusian for sure. I'm pretty sure that I understand what I'm reading. It looks like some words are written with mistakes because that's not how I would write this word in Ukrainian. Високих, it's like they're using Russian letters here in the Ukrainian words. The same as here, but for example, starets, well, in Russian it's the same, starets. No, in Russian they write without soft sign, so this is like Ukrainian. Wow, okay, that's a mix, and that's an easier mix than Belarusian. So it says that in high mountains there lived a wise old man that could speak a language of animals and he could understand what trees were saying. That looks easy. That's another fairy tale. Okay, let's see if there are any words that I have no idea what they mean. This one, strachila. What? I don't know how to read this one. Is it oni or ani or like which rules of which language? I think Rousin has its own rules of reading, which I don't know. Oni знають тайни, що люди забили. Люди забили. Well, no. Люди забили or люди забили. It depends how you read this letter. І мудрость, що вся страчила у часі. Okay. No idea what is strachila. Wisdom in the time. What can wisdom do in the time? It can accumulate. I wanted to give myself 10 out of 10 for this paragraph, but because of this word, I don't think I could. Тобто знайде відповіді на вшитки вопроси живота. Живота is like Slavonic, like old Slavonic, like church language. Живот means життя, means life. The direct translation of живіт is belly, but in old Slavonic language it means life. But what is that? It might mean, it doesn't look like anything I know. Can I just translate it? Well, okay, I said I can't use Google and Translator. Okay, my guess is that it means any questions or any matters of life. So every leaf on the tree is like a page of a big book of nature, and those who can read this book, they can find answers to any questions of the life. Yes, that's my final answer, but unfortunately I can give myself 10 out of 10 for Rousin, and I start feeling that my 8 out of 10 for Belarusian was not really a fair grade, so I'm giving myself 7 out of 10 for Belarusian, and for Rousin I will give 9 out of 10. Or I could give myself 10 minus, but if you feel like I did better than I rate myself, please let me know. Go to another one. What is solutions? Oh my god, what is solutions? Can I open solution of Belarusian? He put English translations here. Oh my god, what a huge work he did. Piper. Okay, so walk down the road and played such melodies on the pipe. So yes, it was pipe. I said flute, but I did mean pipe. It's my English, it's not. Wow, I can check myself. That's amazing. Water shimmered with silver. Вода парализовалась сребром. Jakub Kolos is actually a famous Belarusian writer. That's so cool. Should we look at the Rousin also? Rousin solution, okay. Here is this word, strachila u часі, okay. That was lost in time. That's not what I thought. Ukrainian, we would say загублені у часі. In Russian, we would say потеряны во времени. You see, very different. And another word, тышки, вопросы живота is all questions. Okay, I was wrong. I said any questions. Тышки means all, not any. Good to know, good to know. I will not change my grade. I mean my rating. Let's choose another language. I feel like Serbian can be relatively easy to me because it does have some similarities with Croatian that I learned at some point. Wow, okay, another alphabet. Nice. Wait, no way, that's not Serbian. Serbians should have the same alphabet as Ukrainian, Cyrillic. That might be Croatian, but we can forgive Florian for that. He is not a linguist. We'll see how I do. Većim delom svoga toka rijeka Drina protiče kroz tesnje gudure. Oh my god. I don't understand anything. For some reason, I think that this C with this thing is ch, D with this thing. I feel like it's the. It looks like some transcription from English. When I learned English, that's how we wrote this the sound. Let's give it another chance. Right now, I'm feeling lost. I feel like I don't know what it is. My brain refuses to try to find something which might be there. Just think a little bit. Okay, let's read another sentence. Samo na niekoliko места рачnog tokaniene se abale. Rozširuju. I'm so sorry. I hope it doesn't sound so bad. Bilo na jednoj. Oh, okay, jednoj. Jednoj at least sounds like something that I could figure out. Bilo na obje strane reke. Okay. Now we're talking. Na obje strane reke sounds like on both sides of a river. На обидвох сторонах ріки жупне делімічно равне. Равне is like equal, рівний, ровний in Russian, рівний in Ukrainian. My final verdict is that I have no idea what they're talking about. This sounds like names, of course, because of the capital letter, and they're talking about rivers also. And this might be a geography text, some description of a place. It will be funny if it's also a fairy tale, and I'm so wrong about it, but I feel like I'm ready to look at the answer keys. Before that, I would rate myself as 2 out of 10. That was pretty difficult. Well, now I see that reka means probably river, because here I figured out this phrase. That's the only phrase I understood. Drina probably is the name of a river, but it doesn't help me to understand what's really going on here. Ili probably means or, because in Russian it means or, but canyone, maybe it's canyon. I would think it's a geography text. The solution's right here. For the greater part of its course, the river Drina. Okay, I was right, it's about a river. Only in a few places do the river banks. Okay, only in a few places. Samo na niekoliko. It sounds like a few, yes, but not easy. Mestare, the words are so different. But look, it's still Slavic language. It shouldn't be easy, right? I was motivated when I started with Belarusian. I did not even suspect that this would be so hard. Let's see what waits on me in the next languages. Okay, we're done with 3 languages and 4 to go. I feel like Czech would be really difficult, so let's try with Polish. I have never been to Poland, but those who have been there say that if you know Ukrainian, your ear can get used to the language and understand it. I znowu Przegapilem ważny moment. Ukazanie сіє planety. I znowu, it sounds like and again. That's exactly how you say it in Ukrainian. I znowu. What is the next one? I don't know. Planety is a planet? Розпостарта сіє Olbrzymia. Plaska. I liked fairy tales more. That's such a strange feeling. I'm reading and I get like that. Discouraged, encouraged, because that's how the language learning is also. At some points you feel like finally you understood something, and then the next moment there's still so many things you don't get. That's exactly what I feel, and it's not the best feeling, and now I made myself experience this feeling all over again with the new text. Ivlashchive. I wish I knew at least how to read the letters. Високо. Okay, високо means probably high. Стає, сіє. Okay, сіє here and сіє here, which makes me think that сіє is a pronoun. Зія olbrzymia. Like this, olbrzymia. Spadalem. Всіяж spadalem. Nawet, okay, nawet is like even. We already had this word in a different language. Zamkranausji osji. Honestly, I'm surprised. It feels like this is more difficult than the Serbian text. There I could understand like 2 words. Okay, let's see. Iznovu means and again. Момент, важный момент, important moment. Указание probably means to give instructions. Zia planety, this planet. Something I know about Polish is that they have a lot of sh and zh. CZ maybe is zh. They have a lot of W's too. That's rare for Roman languages at least, or Germanic languages. This, by the way, looks like German. Tak, глибокий и низкий. Глибокий is deep, глибокий, and низкий is low. Низкий. It's even more difficult for me to say what it is about than the previous text. I would say it's about space, because planety sounds like space, but and also they say atmosfernych, but maybe they meant metaphorically atmospheric, not really atmosphere. Отрималем sounds like отримати, like to receive. Odpowiedzi, maybe it means answers, like відповіді, Ukrainian. That all might be metaphorical, not really about the real space. While they do speak высоко is high, like it could be in space. Okay, it's honestly just guessing. 50-50, space or not space. I would say space. Let's see the solution. Polish. Oh, Stanislav Lem, okay. He is famous. Precious moment when the planet first came into view. Spread out, enormous and flat. Plaska is flat. I could probably have guessed that it is about space. Atmospheric, actually about atmosphere, not anything metaphorical. I waited several dozen seconds in silence and repeated my calls. That's so cool. I wish I could figure it out from the original text. I guess I'm not there yet. I forgot to rate myself. It was definitely more difficult than Serbian. I already gave myself 2 points for Serbian, so if I give 1 point for this, I don't know if it's fair. So let's give 3 for Serbian and 2 for Polish. It would be the right grade. I feel like that, even though my reading is worst. Slovak, Czech and Bulgarian left. Let's do the Slovak. I hope that it's easier. Now Latin letters don't make me scared, at least after practicing with Polish. Aga bola najkrasou dievčinou v celom, or it feels like celom, which means the whole. Kraj sounds like land. We don't use this word a lot in Ukrainian. Kid ходила по дедині, мужі переставали працювати, а жени переставали говорити. Okay, I think I understand that. Who knew that Slovak would be easier than Polish? Someone, I don't know, kid. It repeats here too. It might be a name. Let's say Ked is a name. So Ked was walking, ходила по дедине. Maybe it means a valley, because край, like land, I imagine a valley. Dolina, that's how we would say it in Ukrainian. So мужи is probably man, and ženy is probably women. So man stopped working, працювати. Women stopped talking, говорити. Їй очі мали фарбу літньої облоги. Her eyes, очі, had the color фарба I think it's an actual German word. Letny sounds like summer. Obloha? I don't know. What can be summer what? Summer weather? A vlasy zlatiste ako zrela pshenica. Pshenica is wheat in Ukrainian. Vlasy is hair. Волосся. Zlatiste is like golden. Zoloto. Ako is like as. In Ukrainian you say як зріла пшениця. Але, ага. Ага is a name because ага starts with capital A. And I see it twice here. So ага була найкращою Okay. Ага was the best girl in the entire country, maybe. That's so cool. I come back and I start to understand. Ked means when. Ked koli in Ukrainian. When she was walking on the... Okay. I get it. So then the description of her. But, ale, aha, немала іба вон кайшию красу. But aha didn't have немала. Красу means beauty, but she didn't have just... Okay, there were other people who were even more beautiful than she was. I feel like if I spend more time on figuring this out, I could do that because I actually figured out this. It looks like it's a fairy tale again, which is nice. I remember I asked him to find different types of texts so the word would not repeat across the languages, but that's still nice to see fairy tales because it feels easy. Magiu is like magic, probably. So I think I did relatively well. For Slovak, I would give myself... It was not as good as Belarusian, Rousin, 5, maybe. Like if I judge only by the sentences, I could give myself 6. Let me know if you agree. Let's see. So aha is a name. She was the most beautiful. Okay, that's not what I said. I said найкраще, like the best, because that's what we say in Ukrainian. Найкраще. Найкрайсо. It's not найкраще, it's найкрайшо. It comes from the word beauty. Okay, I get it. It's the color of summer sky. Oblohy is sky. And I said weather. I feel like it's not a coincidence. I kind of felt I said weather, but I thought about clouds. I think because in Russian we say облака, in Ukrainian it's хмари, very different. But it reminded me of clouds, and I thought weather, nor weather or clouds are correct. Correct answer is sky. And she didn't have any outer beauty. Her heart was even more beautiful. She didn't only have, I didn't figure it out. I did see some animals here. Zvera, zviri in Ukrainian. I was a bit lazy to read it till the end. Second to last will be Czech. Then we'll leave Bulgarian till the end. Again, these fancy letters. Кдиш се рехор сам jedного rana probudil z непокойнич snu. Okay, непокойнич snu sounds like he had a dream which was not calm. Son is like a dream. Шледал же се в постели променил в jacuzzi obrovski хмыз. Well, honestly, хмыз, it sounds like a very Ukrainian word. Maybe you can pick up some small branches and you can make this хмыз to maybe start a fire. I feel like that's not what they mean here. Because here they talk about jacuzzi and then they talk about these branches that you can find in forest. Лежел на твердем. Okay, твердем sounds like hard. Твердий. Хрбете. Актуш. Трочу. Надзведл хвалу. Well, in Ukrainian, хвала means praise. But something I remember from Croatian is that хвала means thank you. Хвала. But that's not Croatian, and that's not Ukrainian. So what хвалу means here? Клянуте хнеде твердими. Okay, твердими means hard, твердый. Его много ногу. Okay, много can maybe mean a lot. Okay, what I'm doing now is I'm using so-called intelligent guessing when you try to understand the text without understanding most of the words. But I don't feel like it is intelligent because I feel like my guesses are really silly. I feel like I'm wrong. Okay, if I need to say what this text is about, it sounds to me when I read it and when I look at it like it's a prayer. I don't think it is. Like the way they combine the letters and vowels with consonants, it reminds me of this old Slavonic church language. Like the stalo means maybe became what it has become, maybe. Помуслелся, его покой, like his peace. It all makes me think of something religious. Skutečný lidský pokoj, human, людський, добре. Okay, добре, good. Znamení, maybe, jedного рана maybe means one morning, or every morning. Пробудил з непокойніч сну. Okay, so one day this guy woke up from his non-calm dream, вже сев в постелі, so in his bed, променил джакузі, обровський хмиз. Well, it's either jacuzzi or branches. It can't be both, it might be none of them. At least now I see it's not really a prayer. I would say that's another parable, like story with some moral in it. That's my last final word on this. On Czech language, I would rate myself as, well, maybe 4. I think I did better than Serbian, but I did worse than Slovak. Now I understand what it is and who it is and what happened. So hmyz is insect. Okay, but it's not branches. Even jacuzzi has nothing to do with jacuzzi. That's kind of funny. Noha means leg in Ukrainian. What has happened to me? Yeah, I think my 4 out of 10 is reasonable and justified. That's a good choice of the text. Last but not least, we have Bulgarian. So let's see. My expectations are that it's the most difficult language for me as Ukrainian. It's Cyrillic. I don't know why I expected Latin. Калудрит седеше в килията си и преписваше старі рукописи. Рукописи is manuscripts. Рукописи in Ukrainian. Старі is old. Всяка буква, any letter, літера, буква, беше за нього като малко чудо. Всяка дума, като мостче между миналото и бъдещето. I feel some energy boost. It's much easier to read at least. Mostche maybe is mist. It's a bridge. In Russian, most. That's how I figured out. Между means between. In Ukrainian we say між. Минолато, I have no idea, but because I see that and it looks like future, будущее. Or in Ukrainian we say майбутнє, but here Russian, yes, it's very close to that. Будущее. Then this probably means past. Минуле in Ukrainian. So each дума maybe means idea, like thought. В студені зимні ночі когато витер. I feel like I'm reading much more confident now without even fearing as much that I'm making mistakes all over. Is each language, it's just easier and easier. I was fearing Bulgarian the most. Monastira means monastery. It also looks a lot like this old Slavonic language. Rcite. They use it a lot in prayers, this word or a similar word which means something like look, like behold, if I'm not mistaken. Mi треперяха от студ. Maybe stud is shame. It sounds like stid. I'm thinking about prayers. I think that's what might be here, like feel ashamed of what you've done maybe. Ачите го балеха, но той не спираше. Преписва не само думи, а душата натял един свят. Свят makes me think again that it's spiritual. Okay, now I think седеше means sitting. Sitting, калията си пресипише старі рукописи. Okay, now I think I understand. Килията is, what is it called? A small room in monastery. Like someone is sitting there and he is maybe like copying manuscripts and every letter. Беше за него като малко чудо. Maybe each letter seems like a miracle. Чудо is a miracle, and every thought is like a bridge between past and future. Ці книги, so maybe like in Ukrainian, these books are the last hope. Остання надія in Ukrainian, but in Russian, последняя надежда. It looks more like Russian for people. And then they talk about winter nights and about monastery. This word really helped me to understand that it has to do with the church. I would rate myself surprisingly Bulgarian. I'm very pleased to say that. I would give myself 6 out of 10 for that. Let's check. The monk sat in the cell and copied all manuscripts. Every letter was for him like a small miracle, every word like a bridge. Exactly my words. He knew that these books were the last hope for his people to preserve their memory. Memory? Pameta. Okay. Pamięć. His hands tremble. Rcete meant hands. It's not exactly what I thought. I don't know if 6 out of 10 is really what a good grading would be, but I feel like I deserve it. So 6 out of 10 might not exactly reflect my knowledge, but it will make me slightly happy and more satisfied with this really difficult challenge. I did not expect it would be so challenging. That was super fun, and you can see on screen now the language that was easiest for me, got the highest points. My plan was also to mention that I'm doing a podcast which is more for fun, and I might stop at some point, but for now what I'm doing is I'm recording my thoughts, mostly related to linguistics or language learning, along with some more profound short episodes called Learn a Language Smart, which are recordings of my emails. I encourage you to join my free email list on the website to get motivation and some insights about language learning. Thank you for joining me here today. I hope it was fun. It was definitely fun for me, even though very challenging, and it took me some time. It's already late evening here. Well, let me know what you think about that, and I see you next time. Bye.